Okay, everyone. Thanks for being here. My name is Nick Baldwin. I am a couple things. I am the co-founder of Lab Code Agents. I'm the social media and technology coach for Eisenhower Coaching and Training. And this is an Eisenhower Coaching and Training webinar. So thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk all about social media. It's called Reels and Deals. And we're going to unlock the power of Facebook marketing. We're going to talk about harnessing Instagram for real estate success. We're also going to talk about maximizing real estate exposure through YouTube marketing. Hey, let me see in the chat who is currently who's using, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube in any sort of way to market yourself, to create video. And if you're having success or you're struggling, I mean, it's difficult because the algorithms are always changing. So today we're going to talk a lot about algorithms. We're going to talk about how to cheat the algorithm. We're going to talk about how to understand it. We're going to talk about like how to constantly stay afloat of what the algorithms are doing because they're always changing. Like Instagram just recently changed their algorithm. We'll get into that. We'll get into that later. But yeah, so I wanna, it's not necessarily too much about like how to create a Facebook ad, although I do touch upon that, but organic is obviously much more affordable. And if you do it right, you can amass a decent amount of views, a good amount of followers. You can, honestly, let me just tell you, I know agents with like under 10,000 followers who some under 5,000 who make $1 million a year through Instagram. Um, it's not about the size of the audience. It's about how engaged your audience is and how appreciative you are of that audience and how much of a community you've made out of the audience that you have. So I know, for instance, there's an agent in Florida. His name is Justin Himmelbaum. He has under 10,000 Instagram followers, and he's he has had a GCI of $1 million last year. So it's not like he's got a huge listen, 10,000 followers is very good. I love that we live in a world where like that's not considered good. It's very good. But it's not like, these influencers out there with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. I mean, that doesn't really matter. That's my point. It doesn't really matter. I know agents with 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I know agents with 100 subscribers on YouTube. And in some cases, the agents with 100 subscribers tend to have a more successful business in terms of selling homes than the ones with, 100,000 subscribers. So it really doesn't matter what your subscriber or your follower count necessarily looks like. That's not what it's all about at the end of the day most of the time. So anyway, let me jump in here. Let me just make sure my slides are up to where they're supposed to be here. Hold on one second. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. So many buttons on Canva. Here we go. All right, cool. Let me know if you guys can see this. Just drop a yes in the chat. Can you guys see my screen? Or give me a thumbs up. Sweet. Thanks, Jen. All right. Unlocking the power of Facebook marketing. Explore the vital role Facebook plays in real estate marketing and why mastering its tools is essential for success in today's competitive market. Let's get going. So here's some Facebook algorithm insights to help you better understand like what Facebook is necessarily looking for in content that it decides to promote. First of all, you have to understand the algorithm. Um, the algorithm determines how posts are ranked and how they're displayed in user feeds. I mean, that's pretty much pretty simple to understand. But you have to also understand this, that Facebook is a business, even though it's free for us to use, they're in the business of eyeballs. And so if the stuff that you're putting out there isn't engaging enough or nobody's stopping to look at it, nobody is liking it or commenting, Facebook's gonna basically shadow ban that particular post because they don't want people to be bored and to find content that they come across and turn off their phone. They want people on the platform just like YouTube and Instagram at the same time. So impact on post visibility is influenced by engagement metrics such as likes, shares, and comments. Um, Utilizing engaging content and consistent posting can enhance your reach and visibility. Factors that affect your visibility, relevance. So uh, how timely is your post, right? How recent did you post it, and what's the relationship that you have with your followers? Like, are you constantly engaging with them back? Because it is a two-way street. So those are some factors that are affecting whether your videos or posts or images get seen at the end of the day. This is just, I think this part, content type matters. I, in my experience on Facebook, and this could be different for everybody, Facebook says that video content tends to receive more engagement than text or image only posts. For me, particularly, I don't find that to be the case. Facebook, in my opinion, is still very image and text heavy, whereas Instagram and YouTube are definitely dominating in the video side of that. So I haven't seen. I mean, there's been several videos that I've posted that have done well, but in my experience, I have better luck with images uh, and text than I do with organically posting videos. But I mean, everybody's different. Um, so the algorithm favors posts that maintain engagement over time rather than short bursts. So let me give you an example. Let me give you a little bit of insight into this. So like some of you may be seeing that when you do post a video, we're going to talk about Instagram later, you kind of get stuck in that 200 or less view mark. And you're like, why can't I break through that 200 view mark? Because Facebook and Instagram, they push out your video to 200 people. And if a majority of those people don't take any interest in it, they're going to pull it back. So the more engaging that you're and the more timely and the more relevant that your post is, that's why well, I'm actually not going to talk about this later, but um, the um, the timeliness and the relevancy and how current your topics are, um, and and how and what your audience is hoping to see from you are very important. So if you're a real estate agent, I know a lot of real estate agents, some of them are coaches, and so sometimes when there's a big break in the news cycle about, our commissions, if you jump on there and you all of a sudden you start to see all these agents talking about how commissions are changing, that's because that's very timely and that's going to catch on and do really well. So whenever there's like interest rates are falling, that's very timely. Make a video about that. That'll do very well. So, um, analyzing your follower behavior can help tailor content to meet audience interests. So, they say, social media isn't for you, it's for your followers. Yeah, that's the case if you are trying to get business from it. Like, I go back and forth with that. Some of the things I post because I just want to, because I enjoy posting certain things that other people might not care about. But if your goal is to be top of mind and to generate business from these platforms, then definitely don't continue to post things that people don't engage with. You can obviously see what people like about what you're posting and what they don't, and posting things that your followers are interested in obviously will help your reach. Um, Using the analytics for monitoring your insights and how well your posts are performing. Um, if you are on Facebook and you are in a creator mode, you have a creator profile, then you can track those analytics. If you're on Instagram and you convert your Instagram page into a business account, you can track those analytics, and it tells you the ages of the people that are following you. It tells you how long they're watching your video. It tells you when they swipe. It tells you all of these pieces of information that you can put together and collectively better understand what people want to see from you. And of course, adapting to changes and staying updated with algorithms are important as well, so you don't miss out. Okay, so here's how the Facebook algorithm works. The algorithm first gathers all available content that would be displayed to a user. So posts from friends, pages they follow, groups, ads, suggested content. There's so much out there. Let's say you have 5,000 friends. You obviously can't see posts from all of your 5,000 friends. It's just not possible. Um, but that's why it's important to create things that people are going to engage with. And by the way, engagement is a lot of things. Engagement doesn't just mean likes and comments and shares. Engagement also means, do people slow down when they see your posts, to watch your video, to look at your photos, to read your posts. Slowing down, which is called dwell time, WELL. Dwell time is very important too, because even though people aren't necessarily reacting physically, if they're looking at something you posted for an extended period of time, Facebook will then continue to serve up what you're posting to them as well. So I'll give you an example. So in Lab Code Agents, we have 165,000 members. On any given month, I would say 100 or 130,000 are considered active. But we don't have 130,000 people commenting, posting, and liking. A lot of those people are just looking. So eyeballs definitely matter. And if people are slowing down to look at your content, that matters too. Signals. So then it assesses numerous signals to evaluate the relevance of each piece of content. The key signals that you want to pay attention to: who posted it, the type of content, engagement, the recency. Based on the signals, the algorithm predicts how likely a user is to engage with the posts, liking, slowing down to read it, watch it, commenting, sharing. And in each piece of content is assigned a relevance score, so it determines its position on the user's feed. The higher the score, the more prominently it appears. So all of these things you got to take into account. But this is what Facebook is preferring in 2025, to help you get better at what you're doing. So encourage engagement. Post things that do spark conversations. Ask questions. Um, don't just don't all the time. Don't just post to post without trying to gain something in response from the people that are reading or watching what you're putting out there. Ask, what do you guys think of this? How do you like this house? What do you think about this kitchen style? Ask questions that can uh, in return get engagement for you. Leveraging video content. So high quality videos, especially those that maintain viewer attention for over a minute. Now, a view is considered 3 seconds. So when you see like X amount of views, that's about 3 seconds. But now they're starting to favor longer videos. So if someone is paying attention to you for over a minute, very, very important. Be authentic and informative. So authenticity is definitely super important. Make sure that what you're putting out there is genuine, gives value to your users. Avoid clickbait and misleading information. Obviously, we don't like that. Um, the algorithm can tell if what you're putting out there is kind of like a trap. It's very, very smart. Also, utilize lots of new features. So these are just some examples that I put here, but like, um, you know, let's just say when Facebook Live came out, everybody was loving the live feature, or when you were able to check in somewhere, or tagging someone, or, things like that. If the more you tend to use and keep your Facebook app up to date, the more you tend to use the new features, Facebook will reward you with it because they want you to start using the new things that they roll out every so often. So make sure that your Facebook app is always updated to the newest version, and just be on the lookout for new features that it kind of puts in front of you. If you see someone doing something that you've never seen before, figure out how to do it, because Facebook will reward you because it wants you to use those things. Um, yeah, focus on creating engagement, authentic, and high quality content. Now, when I say high quality, I don't necessarily mean you need to get a full on um, production team. Using your phone is just fine. High quality means like, topical. Obviously, the lighting has to be good, and you don't want your camera like moving all over the place, and you want to make sure that you're speaking clearly. But you don't, when I say high quality, you don't need like a full on production team. So don't worry about that. You can make really great videos with your front facing camera, and it will do the job. So creating content It's very, I mean, listen, when I got into real estate 18 years ago, you know, they didn't, none of this stuff was even a thing. Like, they don't teach you how to be a marketer in real estate school. They don't teach you how to content create. They don't teach you any of those things. So here are some things that can help you better understand how to create content without having too much of a content creator block. Um, Simplify your content creation. So streamline your processes by focusing on essential elements, avoiding unnecessary complexity. So like what I mean is like, don't worry about getting a fancy camera. Don't worry about getting a super fancy microphone. Make it as simple as possible so it's something that you want to do and not something that you feel like it's going to be a burden. Because if it's a burden, you're not going to do it. Post things other than listings. I'll be I'll give you a piece of advice, like news flash for you. Your followers really don't care when you list a house. Like they don't really care that you sold a house. That doesn't affect that doesn't they don't feel anything from that. So start like kind of thinking of other other pieces of info to share with your audience. Like, for example, I don't know, the 10 steps to home buying, 10 steps to selling your house, how to choose an agent, what to look for in a home inspection. I don't know, things like that. Diversify your content, mix it up with blogs, videos, and images. Utilize brainstorming techniques, set clear objectives to break through creative barriers. So, like later, we're going to talk about how to use ChatGPT to help you overcome content creation block because that's a real thing. Understanding your audience. So if you do if you are able to convert your Facebook profile into a creator mode, um, you'll be able to understand better who your audience is and who's following you, so you can better tailor content that resonates with them. Um, Encourage audience feedback and use insights to refine your content strategy continuously. So, like, ask your audience what they think. What else do they want to see from you? Those are very important things. Bring them in, create that community. Set a consistent schedule for posting. The more you post, not necessarily posting 10 times a day, but the more frequently you post, the more you're going to be rewarded. So keep a schedule, whether it be scheduling your posts through Facebook, having a post scheduler, creating a content calendar. All of these things are important to make sure that you're staying relevant with your followers. Because the more if you're posting, 2 or 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening, that's what these platforms want. Depending on the platform, like YouTube's a little bit different. You don't necessarily need to post every single day, but Facebook and Instagram do like when you're posting every day. When we get to Instagram, we'll talk about how you would possibly do that because there's actually multiple platforms within Instagram that make up that one platform. So obviously utilizing multiple channels. This is very important, which I didn't bring up before. Make sure that you understand what the platform is for. So, you know, YouTube is typically for longer form video. However, you do have the ability to make shorter videos. Um, Instagram, uh, TikTok is for shorter videos. Facebook uh, is for content that would likely to be shared, shareable content. So just make sure that you're leveraging the platforms the right way because sometimes when you post something on YouTube and then you post that same thing on Facebook, the content may need to be edited, it may need to be reformatted. So you need to look into all of those different aspects to make sure that you are putting the right content out on the right platform um, in the in the right size or the you know what I'm saying. I'm at a loss for words in terms of like what the word I'm looking for, but just make sure that it is the content that is meant to be posted on that platform in that particular form. Using images, infographics, videos, analyze your metrics. I've talked about this a lot. Make sure that what you're posting is resonating and experiment with new content formats, podcasts, live videos, keeping it fresh and engaging and relevant. So this is one of my favorites. So harnessing AI for engaging content creation. So who's using a ChatGPT in any way, shape, or form? Awesome. It's a great tool. It definitely helps push you in the right direction. It definitely helps you better figure out how to create something. It's good for brainstorming. And if you use it enough, it understands who you are and what you do. So it starts to figure out who you are and the type of content that you want to be creating. So it makes it much easier. And it can start to talk like you, and it's pretty great. Um, so AI is great for helping you with a steady flow of content. Just asking it simple questions. I'm a real estate agent and I sell houses in this town, and these are the type of people that I work with, and this is the price point, and yada yada yada. Give me like 10 topic ideas of someone who's looking to move in that neighborhood might be interested in. AI can provide fresh ideas and perspectives. It can analyze your audience performances. It can monitor and suggest improvements. You can show it something that you created and say, this didn't perform as well as I thought. Analyze this image or analyze this video and tell me what I could do to improve. And automating content creation allows you to focus on strategy, which definitely helps you create efficiency. So here's a little example that I did for using ChatGPT for listing ad creation. Like if I was going to create a campaign, a Facebook sponsored campaign around a particular property that I listed. Um, this is fake. This is not a real house at that real location. However, that is the address that I grew up in, 17 Burnside Street. I don't live there anymore, so don't go knocking on the door. Um, so I said, I'm a real estate agent. I just took new listings. The photo provided is the house. The address is 17 Burnside Street. Please write me a Facebook ad and briefly describe the home's exterior and based on the address, how close it is to grocery stores and transportation, etc. So here's what happened. Um, it wrote me this information about the house, how big it is, how big the lot is, um, where the schools are, how well the schools are rated, et cetera, et cetera. And then I continued the conversation. I'm just moving things out of the way because there's Zoom things in my way. Um, and then it started to kind of like it gave me more information. So I think I must have asked it another question. Can't recall what the question is, but I asked it to write a campaign or a post for Facebook, and it said that the shopping was convenient. You have to make sure that like it's not using words that you're not allowed to use. I don't think you can use just a short convenient shopping, just a short stroll away. I don't think you can use that. I think like stroll or walk or run, those are words you can't use. So make sure because ChatGPT is not really up to speed on certain words that you can and can't use. Um, Enjoy a seamless journey to Manhattan with nearby train services, etc. So I said, give me some insight into the value of this home and other and homes that are similar to it. So then it gave me some information on like what homes on that street are selling for, um, and the most recent one of the most recent sales. There's a lot of great pieces of information that you can get from ChatGPT just by kind of starting this type of conversation. So I said, please take the information on this listing. Oh, I grabbed a random link from Zillow. So just pretending it was mine. And I said, I wanna make a Facebook ad. Make sure to mention the key points that the buyer is interested in. So I took this link as if it were my listing. I dropped it into ChatGPT, and then it started telling me all of these things. Um, so it said, this I think is a little too long for an actual ad, so you can shorten it down. You could tell it to write it longer or write it shorter. But it said this stunning home is perfect blend of modern elegance, and then it gave me some features, and then it said it gave me a call to action at the end. You could also, if the listing is not live yet, you can upload all of the photos to ChatGPT, And ChatGPT will look at the pictures and write you a campaign or write you a property description. All these things ChatGPT can do. So over here on the right side, uh, now one of the we're not going to get too much into this today, but talking to ChatGPT, you will also sometimes tell it tell it what you want it to be. So I said, you're a real estate agent, write a real estate market update for a Facebook post that reflects the last 3 months of housing inventory. So, in Montclair, New Jersey. So it did that for me, which was pretty sweet. Obviously, you would want to check your MLS. It does give you sources. I think that's Rocket Mortgage and Zillow. So you might want to check your MLS to get a little more specific. But um, being, you know, being from this town and having sold houses in this town for a very long time, it looks pretty good to me. But you obviously should check your MLS and go right to the source. But the cool part is this is content. So it could create this is a Facebook post, copy and paste, boom, and then ask people for you know, their opinions, suggestions, what they think in the comments. Reach out to me if you're thinking of selling your home, or do you want me to do this for you? A great way to get engagement is, hey, drop me a message and if you want me to analyze your property, right? Like, and that's a cool one too. People will send you their addresses and you can start doing this for them with ChatGPT. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns so far? Let me know if you do. Obviously, raise your hand or drop a question in the chat. All right, let's talk about aspects of effective Facebook ads. So these are proven techniques to help you um, get better at creating better ads. So before we're talking organic, now we're talking paid. Value proposition. Clearly communicate the benefits. Oh, I think that word cut off there. And what makes you, or what you're offering, um, the one to go with. Storytelling. Yeah, I think my words cut off. That's okay. Tell a compelling story that connects with people. Um, Mobile optimization. Obviously, make sure that your ads are visually appealing. Luckily, well, Facebook is is good at formatting your posts, but you when you're creating an image, whether you're using Canva or not, you want to make sure that it is pleasing to the eye, that there's not too much going on. Facebook also doesn't like too much text, and I think it's like only 25% of the image should actually have text on it. So make sure that you're um, being conservative when it comes to that. Use high quality images. That goes without saying. Compelling headlines are very important. Wait till you see what you can get for under 500,000, or wait till you see, you know, this pool or whatever it is. And make sure that you're focusing on specific demographics to reach the people that you want to get in front of. You want to make sure that you are following all fair housing rules. So when you're going in and targeting your ads, don't you have to select that it's a special category and choose housing, but just make sure that even in your text, like I showed you the example before, a quick stroll, like you can't say that. Okay, so you know, just you can't even say hop, skip, and a jump. I don't think you could do that. So, and then reviews, testimonials, those help build trust. Client reviews, those are all very very important. Video client reviews. Um, for paid campaigns. These are all very good ways to make sure that you have a successful campaign. And when you're creating an ad through Facebook, it helps you collect information. It helps you collect people's contact information using lead forms. I'm not going to go through how to create a Facebook campaign because you can go on YouTube and type how do I create a Facebook ad with lead forms. You can find that. What I want to talk to you about is what you should be using. So you should be choosing a campaign objective with leads. This is called a lead ad. And this makes it easy for people to give you their information without going without inconveniencing them. So you're going to get their name, their email, their phone number. You can ask them questions. How long are you looking to, when are you looking to move? When are you looking to sell? These are all pieces of information that Facebook can help you collect when you're creating a campaign to get in front of a specific targeted audience to generate business and generate leads. And Facebook is still the most cost effective I mean, you're spending 100, if you spend $100, you're going to probably get about 25 leads. And you probably, with Facebook having a 1% conversion rate, you know, no matter what, there's going to be an ROI. So let's say you spent 200 bucks, you generated 100 leads, um, and you close one of them. I mean, that's a pretty good ROI. So that's what you got to keep in mind. Before we move on to Instagram, anybody have any questions about Facebook? Awesome. I made experts out of you guys already. I love it. Um, so Instagram, everyone's on Instagram, I would assume. Um, it's very important. Sometimes people don't really think much about their bio on their Instagram account, but it's very, very important. So at the bottom, you'll see a couple great examples of some highly followed real estate agents, and what their bios look like. Lots of emojis, but we'll go through that. Okay, so define your purpose. Determine what you want people to know about you instantly with very few words. It should definitely reflect your personal brand, your business, your expertise. Um, Use a clear and recognizable name. So your own name or your team name, whichever one. Um, so make sure that it's searchable. Make sure that you, instead of just saying like Nick Baldwin, try like Nick Baldwin Realtor or Nick Baldwin Real Estate Agent or whatever it is. Like you see down here at the bottom, Taylor Hunt, top 100 agent and real estate coach for moms. That just instantly tells someone who you are without having to scroll through your whole feed and figure it out. Okay. Craft a strong first line. So I like that top 100 agent for real estate coach for moms. I like that. Um, so for example, real estate, AI, and tech, helping agents win. That'd be an example of something that I would use. Um, Highlight your unique selling point. So what makes you different? Keep it concise. So for example, revolutionizing real estate with AI and strategy. So like down here, like we can see this one says this example that I put luxury living and helping, luxury living and financial freedom, or um, there's calls to action. There's 0 to 120 million with no paid leads. Those are things that um, uh, tell a story very quickly. All right. And it's a selling point. Um, if you have social proof, for example, helping agents scale to 6+ figures, that's what Taylor did down there, with her call to action. And have a link, listen to my podcast, or search for houses on my website, or you know, um, drop me a message if you have any questions about real estate, whatever it is. You can have a link, tell people to use that link, use emojis, they're eye-catching, they're friendly. A link in your bio using Linktree is great because you can have one link with lots of different options for them to search you out. Um, Utilize Instagram highlights. We're not going to get too much into what highlights are right now, but highlights are at the top of someone's Instagram. They're little circles, and usually there's little images or logos, and there's a title. So you can say closings, testimonials, new listings, whatever it is. And when you click on there, you can add videos to those highlights. So it's kind of like a sizzle reel or a highlight reel about you and your business. And optimize your username and handle. Make it easy to spell. If your name is taken, add a relevant word, Nick Baldwin Real Estate or Nick Baldwin Coach, whatever it is. Don't use my name, use your own name. Don't use Nick Baldwin Coach. I mean, unless you want to, I'm fine with that, but it probably wouldn't benefit you. All right. So, algorithm ranking factors. Okay. So these are things within, Instagram that, uh, these are things within Instagram that helps with your reach. So Instagram feed and who they are essentially for. So Instagram feed, relationships, post engagement, timeliness, Instagram stories. You can get. Oh no, let me go over here. I jumped to 1 to 3. 1 to 2. Instagram Explore page. Um, so high performing posts get pushed there. So if you have a video that does really well on Instagram, it's going to push you to the Explore page or the For You page, which is what you really want at the end of the day. Instagram stories, those are great for instant engagement into your messages. You can have, you could post links there. Click here to look for a house. Click here to contact me. Click here to join this course. Um, Shadow ban is a real thing. If you're being spammy, if your posts are misleading, if your engagement is clickbaity, if people mass report you, you definitely don't want to get shadow banned. That's a very bad thing when you're in Instagram jail. It's very hard to get out of there. And Instagram Reels, to get more reach with those, make sure you're using trending audio and effects. So trending video, trending music, trending sound effects. You'll know if if you're going to create a reel and you choose music, you'll see like how many reels a particular song has been used for. The more that song has been used, the better it will help your video because it's going viral. So that's something that you want to pay attention to using trending audio that people are using and searching for. Um, and post consistently. So that goes without saying. But let's talk about something that confuses a lot of people. The difference or the comparison between stories and reels because they're all very different and they're actually considered two different platforms. So like the Instagram feed, the Instagram stories and your Instagram reels, those are three different platforms within one platform. Instagram wants you posting to those three every day. So, well, how do I know what goes into stories, what goes into reels, what goes into my feed? Stories are specifically for your followers to just keep up with what you're doing on a regular basis. You'll notice people are posting to their stories dozens of times a day, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy or long. Um, but the purpose for stories are designed for temporary casual sharing. So they disappear after 24 hours. So you don't have to worry about anything embarrassing staying up for too long. Reels are designed for longevity and brand building. Duration, stories last for 24 hours. Reels can be up to 60 seconds long and remain on your profile and stay up there forever. Stories encourage direct interaction. So you can um, have calls to action on your stories, DM me for more information, or asking questions with polls like, what do you like this kitchen? Or what do you prefer more? Open floor plan, whatever. Getting interaction from or ask me anything. Getting interaction is very easy to do through stories. Reels invite comments and shares. And shares actually now are the biggest driver of the algorithm. And the reason why shares are so important is because when someone shares will keep people on the platform longer. And Instagram's logic into that is if someone shares one of your reels with someone, that reel will end up in their direct message. And if it ends up in their direct message, that sparks a conversation between two people and they stay on the platform longer. So if you're creating content that's valuable that people will share and have a conversation around, that's going to help drive your reach. Hope that makes sense. Um, okay, so stories are shown to followers, can be viewed multiple times. Reels are usually shown to a much broader algorithm. I'm sorry, a much broader audience. So stories tend to be a little bit more intimate for people that know you, and reels are for like more so for the masses. All right, so number six, stories are often used for personal updates, day-to-day life. Reels are typically crafted for storytelling through creativity. So more like more longer form videos for reels. I think you can do up to 3 minutes, but the magic number is like less than 60 seconds. Okay, so stories are aimed at existing followers. Reels are targeted towards a wider audience. Follow a focus on virality. Number eight, monetization, limited monetization for stories. So if you get to a certain level with a certain amount of followers, you can start monetizing. Um, I can't recall what exactly that follower count is though, but Reels, if you ever get to that point, you can monetize your Reels and You can do that. You can't do that with stories. You can do that um, with Reels though, because Instagram can show commercials in between, and you can get paid for that. Stories can be created quickly. Reels require more planning, which is true because Reels are an actual longer form video. And then basic insights available for stories. So yeah, you can see like how many people looked at it, how many people commented, but Reels provide a much more detailed data points into um, how your videos are performing. Let's talk about hashtags. So Instagram says now that hashtags aren't, well, they used to be, they're still important for the algorithm, but they're not as important. You should definitely still use them because people still do search, like, especially if you're local real estate using hashtag Detroit, Michigan, or hashtag, you know, Burbank, California. That's very important if people are looking for you or are looking for real estate information in certain areas. So relevant hashtags. Using location tags. So if you take a picture somewhere, make sure that you click the place that you took the picture. Um, Engage with uh, monitoring your hashtag performance, analyzing which hashtags perform best, so you can yeah, when you're typing out the hashtags, it'll tell you how many people are using them. So, for example, if you're typing in I don't know, let's just use real estate as an example. I'm sure there's millions of people using that hashtag. But let's just say you use hashtag real estate and it said like 100 people are using this tag. You might want to choose another tag because you want to choose a tag that a mass amount of people are using because it's being searched for a lot. Also limit the number of hashtags. Don't use too many. It allows for 30, but the magic number is 5 or 6, right? It wants you to be very specific with your hashtags. It does, if you're using 30, that's too broad, and then it really doesn't know like who to show it to. So the more specific your hashtags are about your content, um, the better it's going to perform. All right, so here's how you can discover trending content on Instagram and how to replicate it. So the explore page is super important. Um, It shows you what real estate, it can show you what real estate videos are going viral. It can show you agent content. It's okay to replicate what people are doing, um, and put your own twist on it. If someone's doing something that's funny and it went viral, do your own twist on it. It'll perform well. Just don't like, take their content and repurpose it. It doesn't like that, but do your own version of it. There's no originality anymore. Everyone's doing, everyone else's content, but that's okay. Um, yeah, so monitor real estate hashtag. You can actually follow hashtags. So, you know, uh, you can follow them. You can ask ChatGPT what hashtags are trending in the real estate world, and it can give you examples of what hashtags to use. Um, yeah, definitely follow and analyze top real estate creators. Like I said, they don't have to have millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers. And also comedy it does really well. It's hard to be funny. Um, don't ask ChatGPT how to be funny because it's really kind of corny. It's not funny at all. But uh, you know, comedy videos or videos with a touch of comedy are very popular. So follow real estate agents who are doing out of the box thinking with their videos, home tours. This is the kitchen. This is the living room. That stuff's not working anymore. It's got to be witty. It's got to be entertaining. It's got to be quick. And monitor viral real estate news. This is what I was trying to think of before. Um, you know, uh, if a celebrity buys a house, you know, or sells their house, do a video on that. Celebrity homes, tiny houses, humor, those things go really viral. Um, and you see a lot of people doing a green screen technique with an article behind them or an image behind them. But yeah, celebrity stuff is even, it doesn't have to be, your content doesn't have to be just what's going on in your area. It can be what's going on all over the world. The Real Deal is a great site to follow. Um, they have a lot of celebrity news in there. Uh, so it's cool to follow that stuff and to stay on top of like what's current right now, what's relevant, and what's timely. And understanding importance of engagement metrics. So why metrics matter. So likes, obviously we know that likes matter, but it's a basic level of appreciation. It's not, here's a really interesting uh piece of trivia for you. The basic like button, it virtually does nothing. But if somebody clicks the like button and scrolls over and clicks the heart or clicks the laughing face or clicks the crying face or clicks the angry face, those other emojis, those other reactions have a much higher, um, uh, have a much higher, they're much bigger for your engagement. So like if I'm just clicking like, that's easy. But if I'm clicking like and then I'm holding the button down and scrolling over to the heart button or the care button, that takes more time. So whenever I'm engaging with someone's post, I always make sure that I do another type of engagement button. Like I don't ever give someone a like. I tend to give them more because if you're using the care button as opposed to just the regular like button, it's going to definitely help that person much more because it does take a little more effort from the user. Comments are obviously like top of the line. Shares are huge too, not as much on Facebook because sharing on Facebook typically means sharing to your own timeline. Sharing on Instagram is more into the DMs of somebody. Saves are probably just under shares. If someone is saving your content for later, Instagram loves that because they'll go back and they'll revisit. It brings them back to the platform later. Um, and content with higher engagement metrics prioritized by the algorithms. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. Um, and engaging content is more likely to be promoted on social media platforms. Let's talk about how to effectively batch content create, though, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time." Everyone has time. If you take like 1 hour a week, right? Think of this as your lead generation. Think of it like this: like I was never a big cold caller. I was always a social media or a sphere of influence type of real estate agent. Your um what was I going to say? Oh, your batch creating is very, very important. So making sure that you are um, creating a bunch of content at once and editing it. That way you don't have to always think about you know, when you're going to do it next or what you're going to do next. You take 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, sit down, brainstorm, create the content calendar, make like 10 pieces of content at once. You're set for the whole week. Um, like I said, create that content calendar, brainstorming contents, topics in advance. Batch create similar content. Another great way to make sure that you get more engagement is to do like a series. So a part one and a part two and a part three. So you're creating a part one of something. Make sure you stay tuned next week. I'm gonna post part two. Like it brings people back. Scheduling your posts, those are very important. So you don't forget. And then obviously analyzing and adjusting. Use templates for consistency. Design templates. Use templates within Instagram. They have their own. Instagram really does like when you edit your videos when you can within the app. Obviously, certain circumstances you really can't do that with. Um, but if you edit within the app when you can, it does like that. All right. Any questions on Instagram? We can go into YouTube. Here we go. We're We're moving right along. All right. Effective strategies for YouTube is very different. YouTube is more of a long form platform, so it's a little harder. What's great about it though is like create the long form for YouTube and then cut it up into shorter batches. I'm not going to get too much into how to. There are certain apps that I like to use. Captions.ai. I like to use Opus Clip. I like to use Descript. Those are all AI powered editing software. So if you create a long form video, let's say 5 minutes, you want to cut it up to then post it on Instagram using these AI powered apps, what they'll do is they'll take your long form content and pull out like 30 or 45-second clips from that long form video. So you don't even have to edit it yourself. It does it with AI. So understand your audience, very important. Conduct competitive analysis, obviously, like a SWOT analysis, what I mean by that. So look at what your competitors are producing. Analyze their successful content strategies. What are they not doing that you can do better? A SWOT analysis, people do it in their business. You can do it with video and content too. Um, take oh, take advantage of content ideation tools. So Answer the Public is such a great site, answerthepublic.com. It's like $10 a month, but I mean, in a nutshell, it helps you understand. You could use Google Trends too, but I find Google Trends to be a little bit more complicated than Answer the Public. Answer the Public tells you what people are interested in, like what they're looking for in certain areas of the country or the world, and it kind of can give you a better idea on like what to make content around based on search habits. Brainstorming with your team, experiment with different formats. So, like I said before, blogs, videos, podcasts, infographics, stay updated with industry trends, again, like celebrity homes, interest rates, those types of things. Uh, Leverage user generated content. So, UGC for short, testimonials, reviews, those are all UGC. Have someone else have your clients who love you make testimonials for you and create a content calendar again for YouTube as well. Um, so these are essential tips for shooting and editing videos. Plan your shots. If you're doing something overly over the top, make sure you know what you're gonna do. Like, because this is long form video. This is not short form like reels or things like that. YouTube is longer form for the most part. Map it out, right? It'll help you visualize the flow. Your lighting should be your lighting's very important when it comes to long form video. I have a ring light right here. You can get a ring light for as little as like $15, or you can go all out and get one for a couple $100. It just depends on, how how crazy you want to go. But proper lighting is definitely important. Use a tripod when you can. Um, if you're shaky, don't just use your hands. Use a tripod or lean it against something. Capture quality audio. So I got these little microphones. Can you guys see that? It's this little microphone. I got it on Amazon for like 20 bucks. And where's the other part of it? And it's oh, okay. So I'll stop sharing for a second so you guys can see. This this little, it's Bluetooth. Well, it's kind of Bluetooth, I guess. This goes right in here at the bottom of your phone, and then you just clip this to your shirt or you just hold it, and it sounds much better than just a phone microphone. It's like a real, like better, higher quality audio. And it looks really professional when you've got something like right here on your collar or you're just holding it. And it was 20 bucks for, you get two of them. Yeah, so they had this little clip. Just type in, I had to buy it twice because I screwed up the first time. I have a iPhone 16 Pro and I bought the wrong I bought the wrong one at first for the 15 where it has the old plug, whereas like this is the new plug. So I spent 40 bucks because I'm an idiot and didn't read to see that it wasn't compatible with my phone. So don't do what I do. Don't be like Nick. Just make sure you're buying the right one for the right phone. If you don't know what kind of phone you have, go into settings and it'll tell you what kind of phone it is. Because there's so many iPhones, I can't keep up. All right. All right. Oh, this is important. Edit with a purpose. During the editing process, focus on pacing and storytelling. So you'll see a lot of videos where like the editing is choppy. Where like if you say and ah a lot, you need to edit. Okay? Because if you pause too many times, you need to edit. And a lot of these AI editing tools, which are very cheap, I don't think I pay more than $10 for any of them. I have like two or three. They'll take out the pauses, they'll take out the ums and the ahs, but you'll never see a video, well, from a good content creator, they're always editing the fluff around, and getting to the point. So make sure that it's quick editing. Um, Select the best takes, and so on and so forth. Instagram doesn't like pauses or uh, you know like what I just did just then. It doesn't like that because if that happens too much, someone's gonna skip out of your video because you're not getting to the point. Adding music and effects and review and revise. Obviously, you've got to always be making things better. Okay, thumbnails. This is my favorite because thumbnails are super important. They're actually probably the top two main drivers of whether your videos get clicks. And there is a science behind them. And I have a couple images after this that shows you how your thumbnail should look. High quality images, well lit, clear, simple. You should be able to tell a story in your thumbnail. Someone should be able to look at your thumbnail and in 3 seconds, without even reading what it's about, they should understand at least what you're going to talk about. Make it visually striking, have concept contrasting colors, um, and limit the aspects. So 2 to 3 elements. Anything more than that's going to be confusing. If it takes more than 5 seconds for somebody to figure out the story you're trying to tell in your thumbnail, that's too long. Um, create a sense of curiosity and emotion. Faces. YouTube loves faces. It loves eyeballs. It loves expressions. It loves expressive qualities. Like that's why you see a lot of people like with their mouths open, like, oh my God, or pointing at something. Whoa. It loves that stuff. And get close up on your face. Here's some examples of videos of agents that I know that did really well. And this is Ken Posick. If it's another, that's a guy you should follow on YouTube. Type in Ken Posick, follow him. He built a two or $300 million business in under 10 years utilizing YouTube. I mean, the guy is like the the prime example of what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. Um, that one he did there. There's a celebrity home. He did that 4 years ago inside Shaq's $16 million home. Got 2 million views. And see, he's making weird, funny. It doesn't have to be stupid, goofy expressions, but all of these are doing well. And you can see the views are huge. Um, Okay, description for SEO. The description in the video is very important too. Understanding keywords, terms that customers are going to look to find. So you got to remember this. YouTube is owned by Google. YouTube, yes, is a video platform, but it's a search engine. So not just in the title, but in the description. I think it's like the first 10 or 14 words need to be very specific in your description. Uh, Tags, you should hashtag all of your descriptions at the end so people can more easily find. Um, they are the first impression of your video in search results. So, like in Google, like the first, like I said, 14 words, what it says the video's about. When people are scrolling through Google, if they're reading the first two sentences, they need to know what the video's about, and it needs to show up in you need to those first two sentences are what is going to show up in a Google search. Ken Posick is the guy on YouTube that you should follow, and then on Instagram, two people you should follow. You should follow Taylor Hunt on Instagram, and you should follow Justin Himmelbaum on Instagram. Those are three people you should be following. Ken Posick on YouTube. Um, oh, you should follow. This is Ken's Instagram, the Orlando Reel. I think it's REEL or REAL. I can't remember. Anyway, um, those are four accounts that you should be following on YouTube and on Instagram. TubeBuddy, Nicole, I'm not like 100% on what TubeBuddy does. I know I've heard of it, but just if you want to tell me, I'm all ears. Um, okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, importance of content quality. Okay, so quality content is crucial for SEO. Um, utilizing long tail keywords. So long tail keywords are more specific phrases that typically have lower search volume but higher conversion rates. Yeah, so that's basically the reason why it's saying like it has lower search volume is because it's usually going to bring in more motivated inquiries. YouTube doesn't have calls to action. They don't have lead ads. They don't have lead form captures. So if someone's reaching out to you through YouTube, they're doing it, uh, you know, by seeking you out. So make sure that it's your contact information um, is easy to find. If you're gonna go look at Ken Posick's YouTube channel, there's a video he made 4 years ago called 10 Things You Don't Know About Celebration Florida. It's a fantastic video. Um, and it's just, I think, a masterclass on giving information to a potential buyer without giving too much information. And he does it in a great way. And just check that one out and replicate that. And these are 10 things that are very important. I'll take a picture of this slide because it's probably the most important slide. 10 things real estate agents using YouTube may not know that can significantly boost their reach. The first 30 seconds, I mean, that's being liberal. I would say the first 15 seconds matter the most. Um, YouTube prioritizes watch time, obviously. If people drop off in the first 30 seconds, the algorithm assumes that your video isn't engaging. So hook viewers immediately with a problem, question, strong statement before introducing yourself. Let me give you an example. So like, this is a bad example because I'm thinking off the top of my head, but like, hey, oh, here are 10 things about Celebration Florida you might not know, and wait till the end because the last one is a game changer. Like that's a hook, right? The last one will blow your mind. Like those are, the last one you'll never see coming. That's a hook, right? Oh man, I gotta watch to the end. I gotta see what it is. Make sure it's not clickbait though. Make sure it's a good one. Thumbnail and title determine how many people click your video. Yeah, so like that's why it's important to have a great thumbnail. If your videos aren't getting views, your thumbnails probably aren't compelling enough. YouTube search works like Google, like I said. So most people don't search 123 Main Street home tour. Like that's funny because like, they're not going to search uh, you know, um, Nick Baldwin real estate. They're not gonna search like I just sold this property. They're gonna search like, yeah, best neighborhoods in, or living in, what it's like to live in, or homes for sale in, Anytown, USA. So while not all of your titles need to be like that, you got to think of your title as a search term in a sense, in the form of a title. Um, Community posts. Okay, so like within YouTube, there are community posts. There's a community. There's a social media aspect to it where you upload your video, and then you can post your video into the feed. So YouTube now does have a feed. You can ask questions, you can post images, you can create polls. And if someone's subscribed to you and they're scrolling through YouTube, it will pop up for them and they'll see um, other types of posts from you that aren't just video. Playlists are very basically those are categories of videos that you're creating. You might want to create, like, let's say you list properties in different towns. You can create a playlist on homes for sale in any town. You can create local businesses. You can create lots of different playlists with videos that are kind of a collection of videos that are similar to each other. You can rank for Google, you can rank for Google searches too. So YouTube videos often appear in Google search right at the top. Um, so if someone's searching cost of living in or is blank a good place to live, those are phrases that people are searching for. So if you go to that answer the public or if you go to Google Trends, it'll tell you like what terms people are typically using. YouTube Shorts, we didn't get too much into shorts because I wanted to talk more long form with YouTube. But YouTube Shorts are like TikToks or Instagram Reels where they're like less than 60 seconds. I think you can go a little bit longer now. Um, but what I would do is take your long form video, then cut it up into shorts. So if you have a 5-minute video, use something like Opus Clip or Captions.ai or Descript and let AI edit those for you. And you can then create shorter videos out of your longer form videos. Um, Algorithm loves consistency, not just frequency. So posting one really good high quality video per week is better than daily lower quality videos. Um, the key is consistent. So upload it would help you if you're only going to do it once a week, upload the same time each week. That's and the same time each day and I'm sorry, the same time each day of the week. That's why if you follow a lot of these creators are like new videos every Tuesday at 10 a.m., right? Like it usually says it like on their headline. That's and if you do that long enough, YouTube starts to understand, oh, okay, Nick's gonna upload a video on Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll be ready when he does that, and we'll push the crap out of that and get millions of people watching it. Um, so okay, YouTube tracks comments, shares, ask for interaction. So here's an example. After your hook, ask for something, ask them to do something. Here's 10 things you might not know about Celebration Florida. Make sure you watch till the end because the 10th one will blow your mind. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So easy. Um, a lot of these YouTubers that my kids watch are like, smash that like button, pound that subscribe button. Don't say that as a grown-up. It's kind of weird. But tell them what you want them to do right after the hook. Um, if someone watches your video but doesn't contact you, retarget them. YouTube ads we're not going to get too much into right now. Um, you YouTube, I feel like um, you got to use Google Ads a little more intricate, but try to get focus on the upload, focus on the content creation, the days that you're uploading, and being consistent, because you can do really well with organic on YouTube. If you just if you it's one of the easiest platforms to actually start to get subscribers. Like Instagram's very hard, much harder than TikTok. I didn't get into TikTok this time just because like I don't really know what's happening with TikTok in terms of whether it's going to go away or not. If it doesn't go away, then the next time I do this, we'll add it. I just didn't want to add it if it wasn't going to be here in a month. But with TikTok, it's very easy to get followers. Their algorithm's great. It's like for anybody. The YouTube algorithm and the Instagram algorithm are much harder because they push much more higher quality content than some of the other platforms do. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns, insults? Hope there's no insults. That would be bad. Um, guys, if you loved this class, we're gonna do this webinar again in a couple weeks. But this was like a taste of the 4-week program that is launching on March 24th. Um, It's called Digital Domination. You learned in an hour what I'm going to teach in 4 weeks. And I just took snippets of my slides because I have 100 of them. I have 25 slides for like, I have 75 slides, whereas this was only 25. So, but I gave you a lot of information. I didn't hold anything back. But if you want to join us for our group coaching course, our group coaching course starting on 4 weeks, starting on March 17th, sorry. Um, I would love for you to be there. It's $50 off for anyone on this webinar. Just scan that so you have the page so you don't have to do it right now. But it's going to be great. So the first week is Facebook, the second week is Instagram, the third week is YouTube, and then the fourth week we're going to bring in a panel of experts, someone who's using YouTube at a high level, someone using Instagram at a high level, someone who's using Facebook at a high level, and someone who's using AI at a high level. And we're going to have a panel for like an hour and a half. And you're just going to ask all the questions you want. Um, it's called Digital Domination. Yeah, Pat, scan that code, keep the landing page. It's $199 for 4 weeks, but you get 50 bucks off if you're on this call using 50 off DD. So I'd love to see you there. If you're not sure, just scan the code, keep the page, and save it until you are ready. But it's going to be a much more robust. We're going to spend like 60 to 90 minutes on each platform as opposed to 60 minutes on all three of those. Oh, thanks, Christina. Yeah, there's the link right there. So I would love to see you guys on that in that program. If you just want to learn this again, we're going to do it again in a couple weeks. I don't have an exact date, so keep a lookout in your email. We're going to go through this all again. Um, but yeah, so scan the code, click the link. It's going to be a great 4 weeks. We're going to have 90 minutes per week on each platform, get much deeper into the algorithms and ways to create content. We're going to have lots of different examples with content. And then on the fourth week, we're going to interview a great panel of agents who are using these platforms at a high level and getting a really good amount of business and talk to them and pick their brain about how they really come up with their content creation and how they carve out time to do the content at a high level. But anyway, any questions? I want to answer some questions. I don't want to just jump off if you guys have questions, comments. Don't be shy. Let me know. What or give me a takeaway. Give me an aha. Everybody's like, I'm an expert now. Anybody? Bueller? Well, hey, you're all completely speechless. I love it. Um, did you guys enjoy it? Let me know if you enjoyed it. You're welcome, Nicole. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, so I hope that you guys scan this, that you consider investing $150 in yourself. We start on March 17th. We go for every Monday, starting the 17th for 4 weeks at 2 p.m. Eastern, covering all three platforms plus a panel at the end. You'll have access to the course for 6 months after you get through the course. You'll have downloads. You'll have a workbook to follow along with. It's gonna be a whole deal. So I hope I see you guys there. Um, Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You guys made my day. I had a good time, and we'll see you next time.